You're a Kirby fan, right? Or at least know what Kirby is, right? Well, do you remember or have heard about a nice little game called Kirby Air Ride? Or Kirby's Air Ride? Yes, I pretty much said the title twice, but like apparently in America it's always been Kirby Air Ride and not Kirby's Air Ride, and I gaslit myself into thinking it was Kirby's, not Kirby. Weird, huh? Well, at least in Japan it was Kirby's Air Ride, just not in America.
Yeah, it just says Kirby Air Ride. Still think that's weird though.
Kirby Air Ride. What's that? Well, Kirby Air Ride is a game that was created for the Nintendo GameCube. It came out in Japan on July 11, 2003, and in North America it came out on October 12, 2003. It was the only Kirby game to be released on the GameCube, though I believe originally there was going to be a concept of a regular style Kirby game that had featured Morpho Knight, but I guess they decided against making it. I don't know. I got that from a video. Don't ask me about video because I forgot. It was a while ago. However, Kirby's Air Ride was originally going to be called Kirby Bowl 64, which was being made during the Nintendo 64 era early on. It was going to be a game much like Kirby's Dream Course, but according to the wiki, it wasn't doing too well, as there were mixed reviews on it that had spoke about how it had slow movements and poor graphics. So somehow, it eventually was made to Kirby's Air Ride, which in all honesty was a strange turn of events, as they are such different games, but I'm happy about it. Also, apparently Kirby's Air Ride was the last Kirby game Masahiro Sakurai, aka the father of Kirby, and the creator of Smash Bros, had directly worked on. Crazy, huh? Okay, so what is Kirby's Air Ride? Well, to sum it up, it's a Kirby game, but with racing. Kind of like Mario Kart, but a little different. It has 3 main modes, Air Ride, Top Ride, and City Trial. And me personally, I love Air Ride and I love City Trial. I'm not too big on Top Ride, unfortunately. But enough about that. Let's start talking about those 3 main modes. First up, we have Air Ride, which is a mode all about racing. It has a total of 9 racetracks, those racetracks being Fantasy Meadows, the easiest one, Beanstalk Park, Celestial Valley, the one you'll most likely die on, Machine Passage, the best one in my opinion, Sky Sands, Checker Nights, Frozen Hillside, the prettiest one as many may agree, Magma Flows, and lastly Nebula Belt, which may be the hardest to win, I guess. I'm not sure, but it's definitely a track you need to unlock. And I tend to struggle a bit when racing it. I don't get in first place anymore. Now, all of these tracks have banger music to accompany it. Some of my favorites being Machine Passage, Magma Flows, Sky Sand, and Frozen Hillside. Those have absolutely amazing songs that I'll happily listen to at any point of the day. The other ones, they're, not so much. I'm not too big on them. Air Ride is pretty simple. It's your typical racing mode, and it can be a lot of fun to play, and a perfect way to calm down and let your thoughts flow. More on that later. Air Ride allows you to pick up any vehicle in the game apart from the Hydra, Dragoon, Flight Warp Star, and I think the Compact Star. However, it allows you to play as King Dedede and Meta Knight, who are absolutely OP in the game, as anyone who goes near them, they can easily strike down and hit. But no Waddle Dees, unfortunately, especially no Bandana D, as his character wasn't around when Air Ride was released, if I'm remembering things correctly. But that's okay. Air Ride features enemies in the tracks that can kill you if you have a health bar, and they can serve as items in order to attack other players to get ahead. For your enemies, you have your classic Sword Knight, Balloon Bomber, Bronto Burp, Cappy, Gordo, Chili, Collar, Broom Hatter, Naughty, Heat Fan Fan, Pichikuri, Plasma Wisp, Flappy, Scarfy, Walkie, Wheelie, Waddle Dee, and Dale? Oh my god, your name's Dale. Hi there, Dale. We love you so much here. And that's all the enemies. I'm sure you can guess what abilities they can give you, except for maybe Scrappy, Waddle Dee, Gordo, Cappy, Broom Hatter, Bronto Burt, and Dale. Sorry, Dale, but none of them will give you abilities. Hell, you can't even absorb Scarfy or Gordo, so yeah, that's about it for them. And that just about sums up Air Ride for you. Race to be in first place in order to win the game. Pretty simple, ain't it? Next up, we have Top Ride, which is my least favorite mode. So, Top Ride has 2 vehicles you can choose from. One of the vehicles being this red star called the Free Star, which is the much more easier option in my opinion, as it allows you to go wherever you tilt your joystick. Whereas the blue one, which is called the Steer Star, will allow you to only steer left and right, which makes for more difficult gameplay, the way I see it at least. Top Ride has what looks like mini variants of the Air Ride tracks, but with a bird's eye view of everything. These tracks we have are called Grass, Sand, Sky, Fire, Light, Water, and Metal. Super basic names, but it feels fitting. You race against 3 other computers, like in the other modes, and you have to do 5 to 7 laps depending on the track. It gives you many power-ups throughout the race that aren't seen in other modes, like the Drill. Or it has power-ups you've seen before, like the Bomb. To be honest, I never really play this mode because it's low-key difficult and it's just not as fun. But it's super cute. I did go to replay it to make this video, and I think it would be a lot more fun if you had friends to play with. which unfortunately I don't have. At least not anyone that would want to play Kirby's Air Ride with me. Oops. And finally we have City Trial. City Trial is a game that involves you driving around the city and collecting power-ups to boost your star's ability to face off in a challenge afterwards. The power-ups you could collect are Boost, Charge, Defense, Glide, Offense, Turn, Top Speed, Weight, and Heart. You could probably guess what all those help with, but Boost helps with boosting, Top Speed is just general speed, and Charge, well, that's a little hard to explain. So there's this speed you have in Air Ride and City Trial that you need to hold A for in order to charge it. When it reaches its max, it gives you this short, tiny boost. The more charges you collect, the faster you can fill up that meter. You could do this multiple times, but I don't recommend constantly doing it as you will fall behind. However, charging is very important for the Hydra and even more important for the Bulk Star. But you're not going to want to use the Bulk Star because it just sucks. It just sucks, trust me. And also, charging can help with some turning. And then we have Heart, which is just a power-up that boosts your HP. City Trial has events that happen throughout the gameplay, such as Fog, Meteor, and Infinite Speed Boost that makes you move around so fast it's hard to keep up with. Holy shit, railways are on fire! Facing off Tech and facing off Dynablade, rubbery items, spinning boxes that all have the same items, some fake power-ups, a lighthouse that heals you, a giant pillar that you need to break in order to get some power-ups, random restoration areas, air machines that just move across the map for whatever reason, a flying saucer, and a secret chamber, and, well, that's about it. Afterwards, when the timer runs out for City Trial, there's these challenges that happen afterwards, like I stated before. Those challenges are Air Glider, Destruction Derby, Drag Race, High Jump, Kirby Melee, Target Flight Single Race, which is just one lap around one of the Air Ride tracks, and Versus Deity. You know, I've never been able to beat Versus Deity ever. I've tried and I've gotten close, but it just never happens. And it's really annoying because it's just hard. In City Trial, you always start off with a compact star, but you can only switch to other vehicles if you can find them while you play. Also, fun fact, there's these boxes throughout City Trial that you need to break in order to get items. These boxes always come in 3 different colors, signifying that they have 3 kinds of items. First up, we have green, which may likely give you food to eat in order to heal. Next up, we have blue, which may likely give you power-ups and or anti-power-ups that will knock down your stats. And lastly, we have red, which may likely give you certain copy abilities such as bomb or sword. But you want to be let in on a little secret? So you know the red boxes? If you find them in unusual areas, they may contain the pieces to the legendary air raid machines. Those machines being the Dragoon and the Hydra. Both machines are split up into 3 pieces you gotta collect. You can only collect one machine in one game, but sometimes you can collect both, but you can only ride one machine. Now here's another secret. If the event where the spinning boxes are happening, where they all contain the same item, and you find a red box that isn't spinning, that may more than likely contain a legendary air raid machine piece, as the event won't apply to it. Okay, enough blabbering. So let's talk about those legendary air raid machines. First up, we have the Dragoon, which grants you the ability to be speedy and allows you to glide for long periods of time. Then we have the Hydra, which grants you crazy speed and crazy offense, after you charge it up, of course, which is worth the short wait. I absolutely love running over the CPU as well on the Hydra. It does intense damage, it can even destroy other machines in one hit. If you end up having one of these machines to use, I can guarantee you, you will win the game. If not, you'll have an extremely high chance to. Well, those are brief summaries about the 3 main modes of Kirby Air Ride. Maybe in a future video, I'll dive deeper into things if there's more I need to look into, but for now, let me quickly go over all the machines in Kirby's Air Ride. First up, we have the Warp Star, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Then we have the Compact Star, a lesser Warp Star with low health and only found in City Trial. Then we have the Flight Warp Star, a lesser Dragoon. It can fly for a while, but it's only available in free run. At least for me, it was. Shadow Star, it's basic and it has low health. Supposedly it strikes fear into your enemies. Ooh, so scary. I'm shaking in my boots, this is terrifying. Well, anyways. Wagon Star. It can't charge or fly for long, but it's pretty speedy. And, to be honest, I think it's a pretty cool star, as, well, you're literally driving a food truck, and to me, that's pretty cool. Swerve Star. Extremely hard to control because you always have to go, stop, go. It's fast at least, but not very fluent. Wing Star. Slow on the ground, but fast in the air. Rocket Star. It's your standard star, but if you charge it up all the way, you'll get a massive boost. Formula Star. Very slow at first, but it picks up speed and gets extremely fast. If you keep it in a straight line. If you don't, well, you're back to being slow. This also counts for turns, so the moment you turn, it's the moment it just becomes slow again. It's not very efficient. The Bulk Star. One of the worst machines. I'm sorry if you're a fan of it, but it just sucks because you have to constantly charge it in order for it to move, and you'll more than likely end up in last place with it. Jet Star. Pretty decent, a bit slow, and it gives you a quick boost when you're in the air, but it can't fly for long, which doesn't make sense because it's literally based off a jet. It just gives you a quick little boost and that's it, and it just can't fly for long. It doesn't make sense to me. Turbo Star. It's an okay star. It's a bit slow, it's a bit hard to manage. To me, it feels like it's being weighed down by something. I mean, there's not much to say about it. I mean, I never really use it anyways. Slick Star. It's like soap. It's super slippery and hard to control, but it's fast. Wheelie Bike. Pretty balanced, a little slow, but not by much, and pretty cool looking. Wheelie Scooter. Smaller and a bit faster. It's a favorite of mine because it's green and it has scooter in the name. Little me really likes that. It can jump pretty high, by the way, though a little hard to control when it does. I can't tell you the amount of times it's jumped really high for me and really fast that I just nearly lost control. Rex Wheelie. It's heavier but has pretty good offense. A bit hard to manage, but it works out just fine. And that's a quick rundown of all the machines. By the way, with the wheelies, it's hard to drive them when you're on ice, so be careful when you're on frozen hillside. Also, in Kirby's Air Ride, there's these little green boost platforms where you have to hold the A button over them if you're driving a regular machine, but if you're driving a wheelie, you just need to go over them and it'll give you that boost, since the wheelie already touches it. And that's it. That's just a quick tip I wanted to give.
Now it's time for me to get to the part where I just ramble on about the game and maybe get a little sappy. So you know how I said earlier that Air Ride is a perfect way to calm down and let your thoughts flow? Well, it may not work for everyone, but it may work with some people. I know it does for me. Kirby's Air Ride as a whole is a very easy game to learn, much like any Kirby game. I mean, the whole purpose of Kirby is to be easy. With Kirby's Air Ride, you don't have to hold A like you do with Mario Kart to get the machines moving. It moves on its own, and all you gotta do is steer. It's super simple. You could hold A to turn better, though, or get those mini boosts from either charging up your charger or going over those little green boost pads. But Air Ride is so simple. You don't need to give it your full attention. It's not competitive unless you make it out to be by either playing with friends or just amping up the CPU difficulty. Since it doesn't need your full attention, but gives you something to do, maybe it'll help air out the thoughts going on inside your head. I know it helps me with that. It can be a really relaxing game, and things don't get repetitive either. Like, sure, it's racing the same tracks and playing the same games, but it doesn't feel tiring, you know? I guess you could thank the music for that as well. It's definitely calming, maybe not for everyone, but for someone, like it is for me. It's one of those games that don't have a story, and just meant for you to have fun and play with friends, which is another purpose of Kirby's existence, where you play together and bond over silly characters. Though, there are challenges you could beat in each mode to unlock new things like machines, colors, and music. If you want the game to be harder or you feel like you need to complete things throughout it, doing those challenges are perfect. I never have ever completed all the challenges of Kirby's Air Ride. There's just too many, and some of those challenges are generally difficult. Pretty nuts, huh? It's just a really nice game, and in my eyes, it's underrated. Not a lot of people talk about it, but at least it's talked about here and there. I know I always get really happy whenever I hear someone play one of its songs, or I even hear someone mention its name. So it's not totally forgotten, but it's just not talked about enough. Sure, there's no crazy lore, but it's generally a nice game to play and look back on. I honestly hope that one day there will be a Kirby Air Ride 2 or a remake. I mean, imagine what we could do with the games now. You can have better graphics, more creative machine choices, maybe new modes, maybe mini games, maybe new racetracks, maybe introducing some new characters. You could do so much with it now, and I think that's so cool. Well, anyways, this video's gone on long enough. I'll just keep rambling and repeating myself if I continue. To conclude, I hope you got to learn more about Kirby's Air Ride in today's video, and if you already knew about the game, I hope talking about it brought back some nice memories. Either way, I hope you guys check out the game if you can. It's truly a game that's dear to my heart as it's helped me through things. I like calling it my therapy game because it helps ground me and sort out my thoughts when I play it. Maybe it will for you too. Someday, I may make another video diving deeper into Kirby's Air Ride, depending on how things go and if I missed anything. Until then, I've been Sort of Dragwolf, and I'll be seeing you guys after my nap. Bye-bye! You are not going to believe how long it took to make this video. Okay, so it was originally supposed to come out like 2 weeks ago. If I get this out on time. It was originally supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but then I got busy, and then Ruin came out, and I want to make a video about Ruin. And then it was originally supposed to come out earlier this week, if it comes out on time right now. And I got busy again, and I just didn't feel like working on it on a day or two. And so here we are, just putting it together and putting it out there now. If you somehow stick to the end with this, thank you so much. It was probably really tiring to hear me ramble on about this. I'm not very good at talking. But, yeah, no, that's it. I'll end the video now for sure. Alright, bye.